Today, I thought I'd take you through some of the steps and some of the things I've discovered about taking your product, or any product, quite frankly, and turning them into great product shots you can use in advertising. Before we go any further, please like and subscribe to this video if you enjoy it, and share it with your friends so that they can use these techniques too to grow their businesses. Let's get into it. This first one I'm looking at, I wanted to create a product shot, but I thought I'd use a reference image first of all. I've tried doing this without reference images, but I find that it actually works best. And plus, I'm not the most creative person in some ways. So I chose this image of 5 books. I thought, well, let's take this one. It's kind of well laid out. Someone spent some time to stand all those books up and get that photo. But can I do it with AI? So I took the covers of 3 of my books, my new book, AI Powered Profits, which is out next week, Micro Course Profits and Run Towards the Flames, which is about leadership. And I said, create image, using this create image button down the bottom, recreate image 1 using the other 3 images. Make sure the books overlap correctly and that the background is kept the same. So there's a couple of things going on in that prompt. The first one is that I want the books to overlap correctly. I've found that sometimes it doesn't overlap the books in the right way when I do this. And also I want the background to look very similar. And if I tell it that, sometimes it'll separate the background out and then create the rest of the image. So you get a really good reproduction. And what I ended up with was this. And this is a really good version of that original photo. It has the 3 books and it has the background, and they're sitting on a desktop of some sort of wood grain. But as I didn't really denote what way the books should be displayed, it's turned them into hardcovers. And these books at this time are not available in hardcover, they're available in paperback. So that always reminds me that when I'm doing a prompt for books, I really should be using the word paperback book, so that I get the right effect. Yeah, but sometimes you forget things when you're working. So I then decided, excellent, redo and make the books paperbacks. So we got this effect, which is very similar, but now you can see they're paperbacks. They've got a slight curl to them at the end, and they've got the normal paperback style. So I've got my photo, I've got my image that I can use in my ad, and all 3 of my books that are currently available on Amazon right there. So what else could I do? That made me thinking. I started looking for some more examples, and I came across a few more pictures. I had this one, which had 3 books and an iPad in the background. I thought, well, this is a good one because this one's challenging. There's kind of more going on here than just, some books. There's this iPad sitting in there. So I uploaded my images to go with that and said, recreate the image 1 using the other 3 images for the book covers, which is pretty straightforward. And I got this. And you can see it's actually created a book out of nowhere. This is the original cover to Run Towards the Flames. This has got Run Course Profits. So it's combined a few things together, and AI Powered Profits sitting up top over the iPad, which is not what the original looked like. So what I did was I actually went through and I selected the bits using the selection tool. So, obviously when you click here, you can come up to the top here and click select, which allows you to highlight bits that are wrong and then tell it what you want to change. And I said, remove the book cover from off the iPad and replace the bottom book with it. And it did that for about 15 seconds and it came back this one. Now, this is pretty good, but it's not like the original. Now, I could have continued down that path and worked on it, but I decided, no, this is as far as I wanted to take this one because it was challenging and there was other images I wanted to create. So I had this one that I've created previously in another piece of software that actually does mock-ups, and I thought, I wonder if I can reproduce this one with my new book. So Micro Course Profits is in this original shot, and I uploaded AI Powered Profits and said, recreate the first image, replace the book cover with the second image. And we got this one, which really is very much like the first image. The book's there, it's sitting over the top of the bag in this case, and you can still see the strap and the background and all those sorts of things. So if we go back to the original, you'll see the book is under the bag. So not a perfect copy, but still very good and very usable for my advertising. Then I found this one, which had just red book sitting there with the laptop computer and the glasses sitting on top. So I uploaded the book cover and said, recreate the first image, replace the book cover with the second image. So again, same sort of theory coming through here as you'll see, obviously. And we ended up with this shot, which I really like. It's not exactly the same, but it's more than good enough for what I want to use it for, which is advertising. And it clearly displays the book, and you can see the book through the glasses, and the writing is correct. So even the text is pretty well perfect. You can see the Y, the O's hidden, UR. So it's done an exceptionally good job, all things considered. And then I've tried this one, which is slightly different, has the flower in the cup and the book here and the laptop and the mouse. Now, what I got in this case was this, which was a squared up image, and you can see it's been cut off on the sides and the mouse has been cut off. I think I probably could have fixed this one by just telling it to do it in a 16:9 format. By laying out that format and then asking for 100 pixels of spare space around the edge of the image, it will get a better picture generally. But overall, good enough for my purposes, and I'm not overly stressed about it. This one I like. The book is sitting up, you've got the background, it's sitting on the wood again, so similar sort of one as that first shot we looked at. I added it and said, recreate image 1, use image 2, and we got this. And I think this is good, but again, I forgot to mention paperback, so I've got that little bit of a dint that you get on a hardcover book. And then we had this one, which is similar again, but it's on a pine shelf with a grey background. You can see there's some shadow here, there's a few little things going on. And I asked it to do the same thing again, and we got that. We even got a little bit of shadow. So everything's being created pretty well. So I had this template from Placeit, which I used to create one of my other images where I've got a membership there. And I thought, well, I wonder if it can actually replace this image and do this one without me having to use an external tool. I put that image there and I said, create it. And it's done a very good job of that. The hands look a little bit weird, but not enough that you could really notice. If you put a bit of text over them or something like that, they'd work fine for an ad. Now, I thought I would ask it something different. I wanted to try and get it to think differently without me being involved. And I said, recreate the previous image holding the book, but have the background showing a dock with a mega yacht parked. Now, at the moment, ChatGPT is doing something weird here, but here is the image that it created. And I really like this. There's a lot going on here. First of all, you can see the lights coming from the right-hand side of the photo. We've got some shadow over the thumb and underneath here. The yacht looks fantastic, still in that blurred style that was used in the plain one, but a completely unique image. And I think this is fantastic. And it opens up the possibilities of actually having it in all different situations other than airports and docks. You could have it anywhere. So maybe you could try some other ideas. And, it's a little bit chunky. I'm not overly happy with that, but that's fine. But you can see the plane in the background here. And I thought, well, what if I can change some branding that's going on there? So I said, recreate image 1 using image 2 as a book cover. Have the tail and markings on the plane in the background reflect those of Virgin Australia. Now, Virgin Australia obviously is, an airline, and they have distinct branding. So what it came back with was this, and I think this is pretty good. You can see that Virgin-styled writing on the tailplane. And if you were to glance at it in passing, you would think that that's a Virgin plane in the background. Plus, it's holding the book, although the book is probably a little bit disproportionate to the hand, and the hand looks a little bit less human and a little bit more doll-like. Overall, but pretty good effort. Well, I then kind of had here, use image 1, can you create a unique product shot? So this is where I thought, well, let's see if we can get it to do its own thing. And it came back with this shot. I thought this was really nice. You've got the computer in the back with an AIE sort of image on the screen. You've got the book in the center. You've got a phone sitting here, and then you've got a cup of something sitting in the back and the steam coming off. So overall, really nice product shot, and not something I would have come up with on my own. And then I thought, well, okay, let's try it again. Create something unique for this book too. Again, I didn't have to go into so much detail this time because I'd done it once before. I was able to kind of say, have a go at this one. And what we got for this one was really great. So the book's sitting on the desk. You can see the computer, and in the background on the computer screen, you can see these images which indicate videos. We all recognize that training sort of layout. Then there's a phone type tablet, a pen, a set of headphones, of course, so you can listen to your training, and then some icons that reflect education. You've got the little graduation certificate and a book and play and, sound. So I think this one was a really great one as well, still fully created. A lot of it does look photorealistic, although the book doesn't look photorealistic so much. But again, I forgot to say paperback, so, I pay the price on that one. Now, this one here, final challenge, create a unique product shot for this book with some bushfire imagery. And we got this back, which is fantastic. The imagery in this is just awesome. I love this. You've got the embers falling around the book. You've got the blacked out area here where the flames have already burnt away. And then we've got the book sitting there just tilted back slightly. Obviously, yes, it's the hardcover style version, although it does have paperback sort of side on here. You know, there's no thickness along this edge. But what an amazing photo. I decided to really challenge it here because this is where I find ChatGPT has a real issue. Maybe it just has an issue with me. So I asked it to create a unique promotional image for the book using image 1 and to include me, and that's me there. And I got this great image back, except that the book is supersized, the helmet's not right, and this is definitely not me. Yes, it looks a lot like me, but it isn't me. So I decided to try and edit it, and I selected the face and said the book is too big. It's a standard size business book. Also, please copy my face directly from the original. Now, this is something I'm going to work on, and I'm going to come back to you with an answer to this, hopefully. But I temporarily hit my generation limit, and it kind of gave me some hints. You know, a standard size business book is this size, use your exact face, and the rest. And I thought, okay, great. So after a little while, I came back and said, yes, those points are correct. The book is 21 centimeters high, the exact face copy from the original. And again, great. We got the helmet right. The book's a little bit better, but again, this is not me. And so I don't know what it's got against my face, but it really does not like me. Anyway, I thought, well, here we go. I'll just cut out my face and give it my face and tell it to replace just my face in that image. And again, it's kind of closer. The eyes are right, but you know, the minute you look at the mouth is wrong. And then, of course, it's completely stuffed up the book and the little icon on here. So I gave up at that point. Obviously, ChatGPT does not like my face. And look, if you can make a perfect face using ChatGPT from your own photo, please post it in the comments below and let me know how you did it. If you've got a prompt, I would kill for that prompt. But please help me out here. I then thought, okay, let's have a look at creating a promotional shot and have it displayed in a room full of business people. And I was really pleased with this one. So it came back, group of business people sitting around the table, the book's on the table, we've got a coffee cup, we've got pens and paper. Overall, just a really great sort of promotional shot where you can put, you know, text across the top or whatever you want to do. Obviously, I like to use Canva to do that sort of thing. And then I thought, well, put it in a trade or mechanics office. And it came up with this one. And this one I particularly like because this really does look like two people looking at each other and talking. One with the arms folded, one with the hands down. You can kind of see that power imbalance there, or the unhappiness of this person at this person, and our book in the front. So a fantastic image. I really, really love this one. And then I thought, well, create a product shot of this book and have it look like it's just fallen into water. It's underwater with bubbles around it. So I saw someone else doing some product shots and they had this image underwater and I thought that looks really, really cool. So I thought, well, why not? I'll just try it. And I ended up with this image coming back. And I think this is really cool. I like this. So you've got bubbles coming up from around it, it's sitting on a rock, and it is most definitely underwater. The tones are all great. You've got light coming in at the top. Everything about this image is just great. This is something you could try yourself. You can make the water deep blue or whatever you want to do. Try some different options. Then I asked if it could do it sticking out of a river of lava. So here we go. Now, this one's not as good. The lava is obviously great and the book is okay, but realistically, there's more space at the top of the book that's missing. So it kind of looks more square than rectangle. And also it's kind of sitting on the lava here and it's kind of in the lava here. I'd like to see it kind of burnt halfway. So I suppose that's an option and I could always ask it to do that for me. But that brings me to the end of this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share it with other people. I know I've covered quite a bit in here, but go and try and create some product shots for yourself because it's amazing what you can do with a book or any sort of product and see what sort of promotional shots you can come up with for your business. I'll see you in the next video.